Welcome back to another episode of Diggity. It's been a little bit, and it's just me kind of flying solo, except for I have some good friends from WASD and beyond.
What is going on, everybody? It is I, Nick,
And it is I, Evan.
pizza eating fuck himself.
Yeah,
You better watch
he's
your
trying to
mouth.
sneak bites in over there, just ever so casually.
Dude, I haven't had pizza in like forever.
What? Pizza's a mainstay in this household.
Yeah,
He
I
just got
know.
his teeth ripped out.
Yeah, yeah,
Last week,
that's
almost.
true. So it's been a week since you've had pizza, or even before that. These are the
Before that.
important questions.
Before that, it's been longer, longer than a week since I've had pizza. But we got pizza today, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't had like a solid meal in forever. So I would really like some pizza, and it's nice because it's not like I wanted Thai food, but they said that wouldn't be a good idea because of the rice.
Probably not. You'd have all
I'm
sorts
going
of
to
rice.
Yeah,
I'm also going to assume it's because of how spicy the fucking Thai food can be.
I don't get spicy Thai food typically.
Oh, you're soft.
Okay, all right. Let's. Can we get a roll clip of him running and having a panic attack upstairs when he had a Pocky chip?
I ate the fucking hottest chip in the world, man.
Yeah, well, I'd rather be soft than stupid.
What the
Oh,
fuck do you
come on.
want from me?
This
What do you want?
dialogue's too good, man. You can't beat it.
What do you want from me?
This was hand wrote for me. They gave the script to me before I came on.
Hey, Nick, can you do me a favor and turn your mic up ever so slightly? I don't have that control because the way I set this stream up, so there's that.
So my mic is up as far as it goes,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Well, then I guess move just a slight
Yeah,
bit
just keep
closer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
keep it closer.
This Jeff texted me at early this afternoon and said he was not going to be able to make it on tonight. And so I kind of had to scramble to get this set up to be able to go live because I was not equipped for it at the moment. So, but anyway, if you are here, thank you so much for joining us. And every single week we discuss the gaming news from around the interwebs and beyond and bring it to your ears, particularly your ear holes, on every major platform and also on YouTube and Twitch. So if you want, you can follow us on Instagram at Diggity Podcast. You can also find us on Twitter at Diggity Podcast as well. And definitely make sure you cut over and check these guys out, as well as our podcast that we do with these guys, OBO Podcast, Objectively Bad Opinions.
For the faint of heart, I would say.
Yeah, it is a little rowdy, but it's fun. It's a good old time for sure.
I'd be willing to say the last two episodes were tame.
They were. Honestly, this last episode was really tame, and it was kind of disheartening.
Couldn't do much.
I'm gearing up. That's the thing. Because,
You need Evan as
can't-
your hype man for all your insanity.
well, yeah, but
I
I
encourage him to do these things, and then
I
I make
can't-
fun of him when he has a problem.
I can't make the show all about, hey, let's, like Jeff said, let's have Nick do a therapy session of his fucked up childhood every week.
That's fair.
I
That's
have
what it turns
stories.
into. It's what it turns into. It's like, so what's really been grinding your gears lately? And Nick's like, you know what? I saw something on the news about like this crazy thing that happened, and like this dude was driving, and it reminded me of when my dad did this to me, and it's like that it has nothing to do, like the current event has nothing to do with what he has the story about, and it's just like, okay, like I guess we're dealing with that.
For next week's episode, I will probably have now, because you mentioned driving, a pretty funny story where I got roped into driving with my dad while he was drunk.
Oh,
Oh.
perfect.
That'll be
Great,
next week.
fantastic.
But this
Okay.
is a video game podcast.
Absolutely. And with that,
Yes.
what are you guys playing? What you playing this week?
Demon
Nick?
Souls.
Demon Souls on PS5?
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
the remake or remaster?
Yeah, I'm not going to play the old one. I mean, as
Fair
much
enough.
as I love the old one, and I do love the old Demon Souls, it's just, if you have the option to play it on a PS5, get that version. The old one's great. It's just broken, and it hasn't aged that well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Souls fans would be like, dude, you're an asshole. Shut the fuck up. But I mean, it's true. Like, there are a lot of fun exploits that you can do in the old one, like a lot of like level skips and shit. But you can do a lot of that in this one. This one is just really fucking fun. I am stuck right now
Yeah.
because I am an impatient piece of shit.
This
and
is
I'm stuck on the Dragon
exactly
God.
this is exactly why I don't play them. But Anyway,
Same
sorry.
here.
Great. They're all great. I love the Souls franchise, and I love Souls-like games, but it's just
He likes anger.
well,
Teach
it's
their
like
own, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like my balls are in a vice with this game, and I'm in a very toxic relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair. I
It's
think.
hit it's hit people I wouldn't expect it to hit. Like my dad was playing, I think, Dark Souls 3, and he was just like getting so frustrated with it. And I was like looking at him, and he would just be like, he'd slam he wouldn't slam the controller, but he would just be like, ugh, like in his lap. And I would just look at him and I'd be like, did you take your blood pressure medication this morning? I'm like, just making sure you're okay.
No,
Like
you know what playing a Souls game is?
having to take your blood pressure medication.
It's like kissing your significant other when you know they just got done rocking on somebody,
Mm.
and then you still kiss them anyways. But you just can't help it. You just can't help yourself but to give that little kiss
What?
because you just want a little bit of taste of that infidelity.
Why would
You know
you
what I'm
want a
saying?
taste of that?
That is bizarre. That
It's
is
like it's like a light snowballing.
What?
You don't know what a snow? I'll tell you after the show. Yes,
Oh.
I'm playing Demon Souls.
perfect.
Um,
Is that so? Is that a good jumping on point? Like, if I don't get into Souls games because I typically don't have the patience. But is that a decent place for me to jump on and like give it a go?
It's a good start. I would say if you're looking for a challenging game in the Souls franchise,
You're gonna say Bloodborne, aren't you?
no, no,
Oh,
no,
really?
no,
Oh, okay.
no. I'm gonna say Dark Souls 3. Dark
Okay.
Souls 3 is by far the easiest Souls game, and it's a lot of fun.
Really?
It's a lot of fucking fun. Um, it looks beautiful still to this day, which I mean they all really do. So yeah, if I had to say any Demon Soul or Dark Souls game, I would say Dark Souls 3. Now, obviously, right now we don't have Elden Ring, or else I would say just fucking get Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Like no questions asked, just get Elden Ring and play that. But Dark Souls 3, Demon Souls, and Sekiro, those are all games I would highly recommend. For
Nice.
sure.
Nice.
So.
I want to give it a go for sure. I just haven't gotten around to it because I don't know if I hate myself quite enough. We're
Right.
probably close, but not quite
don't
there yet.
You don't have a face tattoo, so you can't hate yourself that much yet. When you get there, then you'll hate yourself like I hate myself.
We're working our way there, I think. No, that's
Amber would kill you.
oh, absolutely. Like right here is where I'm stopping, but I also said I wasn't going to go on my hands, and here we are. So
Things
but
change.
Things change. This is true.
Things do
Job
change.
killer tattoos.
Yeah, the job killer tattoos. But what have you been playing, Evan?
Well, for the past week while I've been laid up, we just got my dad is opening up a gaming lounge at a community center, and so we need more consoles for things. So he was actually just able to get his second PS5, and they were out of town in California for their 25th anniversary. So I grabbed the PS5, moved it into their bedroom, and because I was in there for the entire time they were gone, because their bed can go up, which is helpful after like wisdom teeth surgery, because they don't want you to lay down
Right.
on your back. So just got in there and I was like, I'm gonna play some Ghost of Tsushima and all that kind of stuff, and I loaded it up because the director's cut just came out for PS5, which gives the new island expansion and all this other stuff. And I got there and I was like, I gotta start over from the beginning, so screw it, I'm gonna play Spider-Man. And I played Marvel Spider-Man and 100%ed the entire game in like 2-3 days.
Hell yeah.
Went from that, immediately started playing Spider-Man Miles Morales, which I've really enjoyed so far, especially someone who doesn't know anything about Spider-Man other than watching the old TV show, like back in the 60s or whatever. Watching what? Why'd you give that face, Nick?
You watched like the old Spider, like the cartoon?
Yes.
See, I love that cartoon. But when you said that, I was thinking you would maybe say like the 90s cartoon.
No, I watched
Honestly,
the old one.
The new ones are pretty good too. My kids have been they watched one that came out a few years ago, and then they've been watching the newer one as well, and it's not half bad. But
Yeah, I mean, I think I've watched. I think I've watched both of them, the '90s one and I think the older one as well. I think I watched them. But no, I played. I've been really enjoying those. I played through. Like I said, the first one, and then I went and played started on the DLC for it because they had 3 DLC stories that came out. And I started on those, but then I just decided to play Miles Morales. And I loved it. I love it so far. I don't know. Other than this, I didn't know who Miles Morales was, other than I knew he was another Spider-Man. So I'm really enjoying it. I think it's fun. It's been nice just to be laid up and relaxing, recovering and just having a fun game like that to play. Although I did find that the first one does get really repetitive. It's kind
Yeah.
of just
Enemy
go here,
types, too.
go here, yeah, go here, fight this group of guys, go here, fight that group of guys. Oh, this is wave based, that kind of thing. Like, but I had to do it. I was like, this is going to be so much fun, and I did, and I plan on beating Miles Morales, especially because the second one just got shown off today.
Some of Miles Morales is a giant headache. So
Is
like
Oh, really?
some of the enemies I found to be a pain in the ass later on. They're not awful, but like
They're
they were a
definitely,
little
like,
bit
those
more of a
annoying.
headache because you have, as you progress, you get more and more different enemy types that are thrown at you. Well, then you get them all thrown at you at the same time, and there's these one enemies that they have like a, I'm not gonna say they have a weapon type, and I don't want to spoil anything because the first time you see one of these enemies, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" But it's a good time. And yeah, it gets a little difficult at point, especially
Okay.
like if you try to do some of the challenges and things like that too. Like it's not too bad.
I've decided for Miles Morales, because the way I did it is the first Spider-Man came out and I just played through it and didn't 100% it. Like I tried to, but then I just was like, I just want to know the rest of the story, especially because it was so captivating for me. Where it's like, oh, the way they did this is so cool. Where it's like Pete's working for Doc Ock at first, just the way they crafted everything, I thought
Yeah.
was awesome. So like that's kind of what I'm gonna do with this one is I'm gonna go through it, play the story first. Then if I really feel like it, I'm gonna go back and 100% all the challenges and all that kind of stuff. Anything related to skills, I'll probably do this time around. But if it comes down to just stuff to get 100% completion, not really gonna bother.
Yeah,
Right.
I platinumed the first one until they added all the
Nice.
DLC and stuff like that, and I
Yeah.
right off the bat, I mean, I went directly into like I'm gonna find all the backpacks, I'm gonna do all this, I'm gonna do all
Oh, I
that.
did that too. Yeah, for this time around, I was like the first thing I did was I got all the radio towers or whatever, and then I
Yeah.
immediately went and got all the backpacks. Yeah, like
Swinging around the city is just so much fun in that game. It really is.
it really is. I enjoyed it a lot, and I like the difference too, especially with Spider-Man and then Spider-Man Miles Morales, the difference in how they swing, like
Mhm.
just the different animations they have, and where you can tell that Miles is a lot more carefree,
Right.
like where he's just kind of like I've just like he swings his legs a lot more when he's flying through the air.
Yeah,
and
he
turns
flails
his
a little
body
bit.
a lot. Yeah, he flails a lot more than Spidey does, and I think that's the cool thing too. Is that I was talking with Nick about this today. I like I like the Peter Parker we have in these games where he's calm, cool, collected. He's confident in his ability, but he's still able to crack those jokes and
Yeah.
really piss you off, like piss people off, but also be like he's still a kid to a degree at some point. Like there's that whole scene in like the first game where he's texting MJ as he's webbing around the city. He's swinging around and he's like, "What does she mean by this? What does she mean by that?" And I like that he's
Yeah. I think
still
he's
not sure of himself in a way, but
if I remember correctly, he's supposed to be in like his early 20s maybe, something like
he's
that.
graduated from college.
Okay, so maybe
at this
mid
point.
20s. Still
Yeah, because
getting shit
he showed
together.
his. I mean, I'm sure just because of how smart he is, I'm sure. Yeah, he's still like early to mid 20s, but he's like because you find in one of those backpacks his ESU badge,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
and then I
right.
think he graduated or he just drops out to go work with Otto. I
Yeah.
think is like the kind of the story, and I just love the way they did that. So he's been in the job, for like 8 years, I think, is what he says to Miles.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like he's definitely learned it, and it's been weird watching that, and then I watched Far From Home today.
Oh, nice.
23 years old.
He's
He's
23?
23?
Okay.
Okay.
I was thinking like
So
23, 24, so
yeah, it's just weird watching him in the game or like playing as him, and he's like, oh, this is like the Spider-Man I love, and then I see Tom Holland, which I still love Tom Holland as a Spider-Man, but then it's sometimes where it's like he's stuttering or somebody's asking him a question and he knows the answer. I'm like, just speak, open your mouth, say words, but I get why they're doing it. But no, that's what I've been playing. It's a lot of Spider-Man,
Nice.
a lot of PS5 stuff.
hell yeah. So I've been a very bad gamer this week and haven't played much of anything, which is
Oh,
not
no.
typical for me.
Gotta
I
get those
was
numbers up.
when I was actually writing show notes, I was trying to think of what I played, and I really like this week has just been super weird. So last night, I went on like this big kick of looking up all of the reviews for Tales of Arise, which comes out tomorrow. And then I got really excited about it. And I also realized I forgot to play the demo. So I actually downloaded the demo on my Xbox, played through it, then realized that the thing you get from completing the demo would only be obviously redeemable on whatever console you played it on. My dumbass ordered the PlayStation 5 version of the game. So then I downloaded the demo again so I could just power through it. That one only took me like a half an hour, but I played probably hour and a half to 2 hours. And then I will say I did play a handful of games with my kids on Saturday for their YouTube channel that we do. So we played like Gang Beasts and...
Oh, yeah.
Which is always a good time. Gang Beasts, we played a little bit of Rocket League, which is weird I think we played against bots because that's the only way we can really do it because I'm like diamond and they're like silver and bronze
You can't
type.
have your kids fucking up your rank, but
Well, they can't.
That's the truth.
This is true because it automatically pairs with whoever the highest is, so they're just gonna get thrown right in with diamond. I'm like, that's not good.
Ridiculous.
And then I'm trying to think of what the third game is that we played, but anyway, that's about all I've played this week. It's been a weird one. Normally, I'm fucking in playing something every night, and this has just been odd. So
do you have a catchphrase when something happens in Rocket League that like saves your bacon? Like, do you have something that just you kind of say like without even thinking about it?
No,
you have, like, any... no. Me and my buddies, when we'd play and we would play against people who are clearly better than us, every time they would score and they would just miss, we would just go, "Good thing they're bad."
Nice.
All the time. It's never
a classic.
It's always they're bad, right? Like, yeah.
You know what a good one is?
What's that?
What?
They put a little bit too much mustard on that hot dog.
I was gonna say we say it more like if we fuck something up, we're like, too much mustard on that one or something like that. But a lot of those are things I've picked up from Jeff and his Canadian lingo that he has. So, but
Animals.
Anyway, on to the major and pretty much only topic for the week because I figured we'd bullshit a little bit here, and quite frankly, I ran out of time. So but the big thing that happened today and pretty much shut down all other news for the day was the PlayStation Showcase. So we'll go ahead and talk about each one as we go. Like I said, we're not going to be cramming a bunch of different topics into this, so let's just kind of focus on each one as we go through. So first off, they started off with this insane play has no limits trailer, which was wild, and it entirely revolved around chess, which was odd. It was like they had somebody like dressed in black and somebody dressed in white, and they were trying to get each other's king or whatever, and they had like all these different pawns and stuff walking around, and it was a cool trailer, but it had me absolutely puzzled, and I didn't know if we were getting some sort of crazy chess game or what the hell was going on, but it was cool. And the very first game they showed off was Knights of the Old Republic, the remake. So this really, this trailer was very, very little. It was pretty much black screen more than anything, and it said like the legendary game returns or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so obviously they didn't give us a release date. I imagine this is still quite a ways out. But there is one little tidbit that we got in the post-show update that this is actually a complete ground-up remake. So this is not just go in, make it look kind of pretty. Like this is a legit deal. So that's
new engine,
awesome.
New everything. Yeah, that's cool. Again, Nick and I talked about this today, where it's like if they were to do that for like Star Trek Online and Knights of the Old Republic, if they just had brought it to PC, it's like, dude, I'd play those games all day. Yeah. But it's like you go, like I went in to play Star Trek Online a couple weeks ago, and it's that same thing where it's like it's just so dated that I don't. So it's like I'm excited to try it because I've never played Knights of the Old Republic.
I have not either.
I have fond memories of playing this game on my Xbox 360, and just going through different story paths and progressing through this game, and I loved this game. I love Knights of the Old Republic. I like the second one as well. So to see this get a remake that it deserves, right? Am I thinking the right one? Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Okay. for some reason I was thinking about different Star Wars game for a minute there.
You're
But
thinking of
you know,
the MMO or the what's the other
KOTOR.
Old Republic or Knights of the
I was thinking
uh
about KOTOR. Let me see.
yeah.
But yeah, no. So like Knights of the Republic though, like I played both these games on my Xbox 360, and as a young kid or teenager,
Mhm.
so to see this happen again, it made me feel the same way I felt when I saw the Dead Space tech demo.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
just lost my shit. I was because like I missed the entire Sony conference because I was at work. So when I got home, I had to catch up with just YouTubing all the trailers, and you didn't get a lot from this, and I really think that it's probably in like very early stages of development. I wouldn't expect this game for a couple years, at
Yeah.
least 2.5 years, I would say.
I would say 2020 or late 2023 at the very earliest, but
That's
probably more like 2024. Probably
right.
like
That's
spring.
well, yeah. If they're redoing it from the ground up, yeah. But like, I'm assuming they're gonna want to get this out fast,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't always good. But like, if it's done correctly, and they could really fine tune everything, make it work. We've seen how all the remakes are doing, and they're all doing very well in terms of like, hey, we brought this game back, and here's some new mechanics. Here's like slight new mechanics, and the game looks pretty, and all those bugs that you hated are gone, and it's like sick. You're not wrong. You aren't lying. You gave us what you said you were going to give us.
Right.
That's what I want with this, especially for a title like this and in the Star Wars universe. So it's like you expect good products when it comes from these types of games from a
Right.
franchise like Star Wars, and I think that's what we're going to get here. If not, they're going to piss off a lot of people, a
That's
lot,
that's for sure.
and
I
then
feel
we
like
won't get a
there's.
fucking.
I feel like.
Huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I would
Go
say
ahead.
if this fails, we will not get a remake of the second one, and that would be a fucking shame, because both games are fucking phenomenal titles.
These are
Right.
such beloved titles too. Like if they go the cheap cash grab route on this, people are going to be pissed. Like that is not going to be something that will fly with this game. So I
Keep the
really
microtransactions out of it too, please.
oh god yeah. Like just stick to the source material and just update the fucking game and people will love you and buy the absolute hell out of it.
Oh yeah, dude. You tell me there's a fucking special edition of this with a fucking collectible in it. I'm buying it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
it's
buying
pretty
like the
sweet.
quote unquote Jedi edition or whatever they're gonna call it.
Right.
Like I will buy that $200 edition to have more shit on my shelf.
The Kylo Ren edition.
Ain't no Kylo Ren in that game.
Blow that piece of junk out of the sky edition. That's what it'll be.
There you go.
We don't know who is developing it, right? It didn't say that in the trailer. We don't know who is doing it.
It was oh shit.
I don't think it said anything in the trailer. I'm looking at an article and it doesn't say.
Okay. Yeah,
Lucasfilm Games.
I knew that logo
that a
was in there,
publisher?
but I didn't know if that was just the LucasArts like logo on there because it's Star Wars.
Aspire is the publishing company, so Lucasfilm Games would be the developer. I'm assuming,
Yeah.
along
Yeah.
with maybe some help from Sony. That's right, because I was gonna say the EA exclusivity for Star Wars dropped, like it's
Gone.
gone, so anybody can make their own Star Wars game now.
Yep.
So I was just curious if we knew who the developer was to get an idea, right, of
We're
what
getting.
we could expect. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited, and I don't think that. I think just because of how everybody knows what happened with Star Wars Battlefront 2 when it came out, a lot of people aren't really gonna, especially with Star Wars, just because Star Wars is what it is. I think that there's not going to be a whole lot of that easy cash grab style of stuff, especially
Yeah.
because we have no release date and we didn't see much other than literally basically just them telling us. Like, I mean, the trailer shows nothing other than a guy that has a Kylo Ren like mask with a red lightsaber. Like we don't know anything else other than that. So like I'm hopeful, but I'm also like you said, Nick, or whatever, cautious. Like just
Yeah.
to see how it looks and all that kind of stuff. But I'm excited. I've never played him before. I was 3 years old when the first game came out. And my dad's not a Star Wars fan, thank God.
Wild.
So yes, I said thank God after saying he's not a Star Wars fan. Come for me in the comments section.
They will.
He goes there. he goes there.
Look at him.
I don't care who
So
I've said, especially the
brave.
Star Wars fans. I do not care.
Next up, we got to look at Project Eve. So it's been a while since we've seen this one, but this was a cinematic trailer followed by a look at what appears to be in-game footage. I don't want to call it gameplay because it was still highly edited, I assume. But it kind of showed off the movement as well as the combat with a little bit of kind of the story, which you kind of you also had to be watching and reading because it was all in Korean, right? This is a Korean developer.
I believe so. Yeah.
So you had to read subtitles on this, which honestly I hope they don't do an English dub for this. I would rather it just stay in Korean and figure it out from there, but because I don't think it would lend itself very well to a property like this. But anyway, this game, they showed it off, kind of a look at what's going on, and no release date for this one either. Any thoughts on...
It looks beautiful. And Evan just screenshotted
the
piece
booty
of this game. Yeah. So,
Everything I read about this game afterwards was like only about the booty.
I hadn't seen the trailer, so I was watching it with the sound off while you were talking about it, and that's 13 seconds in is that screenshot that I sent Nick, and I was like, I see what kind of game we're going for here.
they really accentuated.
They slowed down the camera.
Well, like the shimmering
when
the
she
shimmering
like flips
bodysuit.
and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I get it.
I do worry that it might be a little too horny for its own good.
No.
And also,
I guarantee you go to Rule 34. There's already 5 pages.
Absolutely, because they've showed off a little bit of this before, so I'm sure there's plenty of it out there. But I also worry that they put way too much time into the lighting and shimmering effect on her ass, and not enough time into the world. Because watching the trailer, a lot of the world and like the area seemed kind of bland.
They seem kind of enclosed.
Yeah, they seem very enclosed and just kind of like samey through whatever they showed.
Like warehouse look to it. Like
Yep.
I'm rewatching right now. It looks like a warehouse. There's some open areas. It reminds me like a little bit, maybe like a Bayonetta feel to it.
I saw a lot of people compare it to Bayonetta, and also a lot of people compare it kind of to a Nier, where it was that kind of
QTE that just happened right there too. So like, I mean, these aren't my cup of tea when I game.
Yeah.
But like the game itself, it does look really pretty. It looks like there is ray tracing on because I'm looking at like the ground and it is like reflective. Like it does look really good. You
can probably see the reflection of her butt in all the puddles.
Well, the booty shake mechanic or physics in this
What?
game,
It's a feature.
How do I pre-order this game?
well, if you pre-order the $80 edition, you get the booty physics mechanic.
You're joking.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
I wish you weren't. I'm just saying.
It looks cool though. It looks cool. I don't know if I'll play it. If they offer up a demo, I'll try the demo.
I do want to try out a demo for sure, because I do think it is a really, like, even butts aside, this was a very gorgeous looking game. The characters looked very good. Their faces actually like matched, what a human looks like, other than, whereas a lot of games get that wrong even, and their mouths were completely synced because they aren't trying to change it into a bunch of different languages. I think there's a lot of good things going on here, but I just hope they don't focus way too much on ass jiggle mechanics and things that in the grand scheme of things are going to make this probably not as good of a game as it could be. Now, Evan, on the other hand, clearly wants that.
In a perfect world, that's all the game would be about.
You guys don't want to play more Dead or Alive?
Yeah, right.
Oh my
Dead
gosh,
or
yeah,
Alive.
I remember those.
Thank you.
No, I typically am not a big fan of games like these either. I'll probably watch the trailer in full though, just to get an idea of it. But like I said, I mean, I probably won't be swayed for any real reason to try it, just because I'm typically not into these types of games, which is just not for me. But if I can get kind of into the story and stuff, then yeah, I'm totally about it. I like to see new stories like that. So if this is different and it's not, I guess, I don't know. I guess when I see games like this, I think of games like yeah, Devil May Cry and like just other games like that with a lot of sword fighting, just that kind of style. And there's typically not for me, but I'll have to watch the trailer in full and see what I think. I only
See,
got 13 seconds in the last time.
for me, Devil May Cry is one of those games though that is in that same vein, but it's so like
I've only
versatile.
played I've only played
There's
demos of Devil May Cry 2. I've never played a full game through,
so those
so
games are like so like
I
you
know they're
fell in love
good.
with Resident Evil. I'm not comparing the two at all. Like what I'm saying is like it took me a long time to go. I like Resident Evil games.
Right.
So like a lot of people I know are like, I don't think I could ever like Devil May Cry. It's like, no, try Devil May Cry because like the story, it's like the same shit I try to tell people with like Death Stranding. Like I understand, but like Devil May Cry has like actual game mechanics. Um,
Are you saying
Devil,
that delivering packages is not an actual game mechanic, Nick?
it is not, but the game is something special. Death Stranding is a very special game.
I just wanted to get him to admit it.
Yes, that's not it.
I haven't finished it still.
I
need
haven't
to.
even played it, and I have no plans
oh my
to.
God. Bro, get the fucking PS5 edition. What are you talking about?
Isn't the PS5 edition the one they showed off where it's like, look at Sam, he's hiding in a box?
They
I,
showed off there was a new trailer for it.
I don't.
Okay, because I was gonna say I don't know who's gonna pay full however much it was just to get like. Okay, this disgusts me.
You
I'm a
absolutely
whore for Kojima.
or you underestimate my attention span by or sorry, overestimated, I guess in this case. I cannot if a game is boring for more than like 5 minutes outside of that first 2 hours, because usually I'll put in the time. I play a lot of JRPGs, so absolutely I will.
Well, then what the fuck?
Wait for
I
it to
am
get
not going to walk around and carry packages. No, I can't do it. I can't fucking do it.
You get bicycles too, man.
I don't care. I'm
You
not
need
doing it.
Motorcycles.
I don't do artsy games and like nope, I'm out. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, you know
So-
what? Really quick. Death Stranding is the craft beer of video games, I would say.
What?
That is
Yeah, dude.
that doesn't make me want to play it anymore. Not because I don't like craft beers, but because that mentality around it
You
is
say
exactly
I
You say
smell
you-
my
you-
own farts when I play this game.
What?
Yeah,
You
dude.
say you love Hideo, but I feel like you're just trying to you're just ruining his numbers for people buying this game. Like it's the
I don't-
craft beer of video games. I think Hideo would.
I don't love
arguably
Hideo.
disagree.
Hideo loves me because
I don't
No,
think
he
does.
loves
I
Jeff
think he knows who
Keighley.
you are. He loves Jeff Keighley and
Yeah,
Gabe
they
Newell.
do have a fucking. He does like Gabe Newell. Well, I mean, if I could be friends with Gabe Newell, fuck Jeff Keighley. If I can be friends with Gabe Newell, I would be.
Gabe in the white. When he
That's
comes
such a
back with his
good
beard.
dude. When Gabe Newell emerged with that fucking beard and the hair, I was like, when did the Gandalf Gaben fucking?
It's
when-
so
when did-
good.
Like, when
Yeah,
did this happen?
He came out and then we all watched it at E3 and Nick was on his chair, his swivelly
Shut
chair,
up.
like, I can't wait. And he's like, you should check out the Steam Now event or whatever the demo event was. And then he just left.
You and I think the best part about that was you and Brody
Oh, dude.
saw my like disappointment. You guys were like,
We
watched
screen
Half-Life
captured
3.
disappointment.
they were like,
Oh, yeah.
Gabe Newell from Valve and Half-Life success, and I was like, oh, Half-Life
Oh,
3?
Finally,
And then
yeah,
it didn't happen, and you guys were like, he is so sad, and I was sad.
You were
was
sad. You were
Oh, I couldn't
visibly
do it.
sad.
My
I-
favorite
I
picture
was
still
crying.
is Jeff with Gabe Newell on his TV behind him with just that
Stupid
shit-eating grin.
shit-eating grin.
I
dude.
can't
Oh,
wait to put that on a shirt. It's so good.
But that's
Um,
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's gonna be my background on my computer.
Next up, we had Tiny Tina's Wonderland. So this was kind of really the first look at that we kind of got of the gameplay itself and showing off the world and the weapons and the guns. And I was a little confused about what this game was really going to be up until this, because they kind of laid it out like it could be like a card game. Obviously, she's playing Dungeons and Dragons, but they didn't really explain like what the actual mechanics were going to be. And it essentially looks like it's going to be Borderlands, but in like a wacky, kind of crazy Tiny Tina Wonderland, I guess. I mean,
I would love to get into Borderlands. I really fucking would. There's just something about these Borderlands and like Far Cry for me are just two franchises I looked at. I tried and I went, I just don't care.
Really? Far Cry?
Far Cry.
I'm not
The
a
only
Far Cry guy either.
the only
Really?
Far Cry I enjoyed
Those three.
was the one where you can create your own like levels and put them on the
Oh,
Xbox on Xbox Live.
that was one of the older ones.
I
Like
Was
think
it?
it's Far Cry 2.
No, Far Cry 2 I think had one, but I think the one
Was
you're
it
thinking
3?
about, like that's 3 has a level editor. Are you thinking of one that was like a part of the newer franchise of them,
For
or
Xbox
like
360.
It was probably 3 then.
it might have been 3. It also might have been one of the ones that didn't
No, it
have a
was
number.
Xbox. It was just Xbox. It was original Xbox. I was
So
playing
then
it at Ed's house.
So then it was probably a Far Cry level editor games. There was
Probably 2.
map editor started. Might have been 2. I'm gonna try and find it.
I think it was 2, but I mean,
Yeah, 2 is the only one that had it. Starting with it.
So it was 2. But like
Yeah. 2 is great. 2 is
Borderlands-
just a good game.
it is. But Borderlands and that game, that series, it's there's franchises. There's two of those like franchises where I'm like, I understand the hype behind Borderlands for sure. Like the chaotic nature of the game is just so sweet. All the fucking weaponry you can get in that game is just insane. I love the cell shading. I love that art style.
Mhm.
But it's just something about the game where I hop in for like a couple hours and I'm like, I'm not connected to it.
Yeah.
This game, however, from what I can see, it does look interesting because it looks like it's meshing, like it's all in like Tiny Tina's like imagination.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is
so like
horrifying.
chaotic. It's like literally if like a crack fiend stopped smoking crack and then just did one day, and it's like this is your brain.
Boy, I'm glad you said that before I said it was kind of like being in your brain.
It is a lot like being in my brain, dude. So like to sidetrack, my job I'm at now,
Uh-huh.
is like an old job, new job, whatever. I drive all day, so like I have time to like let the insanity flow in
no.
my head. So like
I'm not.
now that I've started this job, I have so much more. I'm like, oh, I can't believe I didn't say this on fucking OBO. And then my mind goes, what if I shot myself in the head and I didn't die?
Jesus.
And like, no, time out. And then like I moved to like a new plane of existence and shit. That's the shit that happens in my head at work.
What?
Not, I don't want a suicide. What I'm saying is, what
I don't
if
want suicide.
I don't. I'm saying, what if like I was able to go to a next dimension? But that's yes, my brain is a lot like Tiny Tina.
I used to love Borderlands. I played the hell out of Borderlands 1 and the hell out of Borderlands 2, and by the time we got to like the pre-sequel, I didn't care for that one. And I guess, you know what? I played more of Borderlands 1 than I did 2. 2 I played quite a bit of and kind of bounced off of after I finished it, and I didn't want to do the like new game plus type shit. And then pre-sequel I really didn't enjoy at all, and 3 I probably put maybe 20 hours into it, and I had a hard time connecting with it too. I don't know if it's just as I get older I don't find it nearly as entertaining and I get bored kind of easily with it, or if I don't know, because a lot of people love 3, not so much for the story, but for the gameplay. Like, the gameplay is actually solid in 3. I just have a hard time getting into it for some reason. And I think a lot of it was, at the time 1 came out, that was a great couch co-op game. And so I played a lot of that game with other people and really, really enjoyed, just fucking around and going out and, hey, I got this gun or this and that or whatever it may be. And I finally, like with 2, I played a little bit with some friends, and then it was kind of around the time that a lot of my friends were kind of like in other areas, or we weren't really getting together as often to like just play couch co-op type stuff. And then now, I mean, with 3, I think I would have played a lot more of it, but I didn't have any buddies that would get into it either. And so that was a big damper for me, to where it was just kind of one of those things that it's not as much fun to play by yourself.
The franchise for me just fell off. I mean, I'm not saying that the games themselves fell off, but
Yeah.
it for my personal interest, I can't get into them. And I really don't know why. Because like I love games like this. I love single player games that it's just this chaotic mess of a game. It's not a mess, but like the world itself of Borderlands is a chaotic mess.
Oh, absolutely.
And I love that. So I don't know why I can't connect with it, but there's just something about the game where I'm like, I just don't care.
Right.
And because I don't care, I don't want to invest 3 games worth because I'm not going to play the pre-sequel
No.
or the prequel.
That
God,
one's bad, I guess.
it's it's
So
not great.
like, and for me, like, if I'm going to play a game starting at 1, I want to play all.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I know that there's a bad egg in the bunch, I'm like, dude, what the fuck is the point?
Yeah. Luckily, you
'Cause then,
don't really need the pre-sequel, but
yeah, I,
yeah. Hopefully, this. I mean, it looks cool. Hopefully, this rekindles a little bit of that joy I felt with Borderlands back in the day and kind of lost. But I kind of doubt it will. But it does look like it'll be a really fun Borderlands game.
yeah, it looks fun. It looks chaotic. It's really colorful as well. I do like that.
Yeah.
I like that there's like unicorns and like weird mushroom people and like D20s and like shit like that. Like it looks super fucking like creative and just vibrant and full of life. Um, and that might make me want to play this game. Like this game, Tiny Tina, Tiny Tina's Wonderland might be the Borderlands I jump into
Right.
because of how just vibrant and full of life this game looks. It's not, hey, you're on a bus and now you're a mercenary or you're an assassin. That's no, this is what you're doing in this game, and this is like the Wonderland of it. So I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah.
So this might be the game I hop in.
So this will be releasing March 25th, in case I didn't say that already. And the next game was Forspoken. So this was another cinematic trailer, kind of really to start, and then it turned into a little bit of gameplay, showing some combat, traversal, and it also features Jarvis, which is awesome. I was super happy to hear. I completely drawing a blank on the actor's name, but the actor who played Jarvis and
Paul Bettany.
Vision. Yeah. Yep. Awesome to hear his voice, and he seems like he's going to be kind of your companion for this adventure. And this will be releasing spring of 2022. How you guys feel about this one? Kind of quickly. We're gonna have to speed through. We got a lot.
Just looking at the trailer right now, it looks pretty sweet. I like the combat and I like the movement. Oh, I played this.
No, you haven't.
I played something that was like it.
There you go.
Unreal Engine 5 had a demo where
Yeah.
you could play what they're
Yeah.
using. Yeah, so I played a little bit of like what they were
Aiming
showing
for.
off.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. I thought it was pretty neat actually. So I'll definitely have to check this out. I love how it looks. Looks great. I like like I said, I like the combat from what I'm seeing so far, and I really enjoy the movement.
Mm-hmm.
Movement looks awesome.
Movement looks very, very fluid. The combat looks pretty fun. Like it looks like it's fast paced and kind of all over the place and very colorful even too. And the first time they showed this game off, it must have been right after she got cast into this world she appears in, and there was like a dragon, like a giant dragon looking at her. So I'm super pumped to see what they actually do with this game and what it's gonna kind of end up being and how like expansive it will be. But it looks really neat. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, so the game looks beautiful. Are they using UE5 or are they?
I believe
sure.
so. Yeah.
Okay, because like Evan did mention, I also was able to play the Unreal Engine 5 tech demo on my PC, and this does remind me of that a lot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It looks like it is going to be very environment based and destruction based within the environment, which excites me because the more into the quote unquote future we get with video games, the more I think everything in a video game will become interactive.
Right.
And to showcase that in this generation, given that we don't have many games in the current quote unquote new generation that we are in that are able to showcase what they're fully able to do yet, to see a game like this where it looks beautiful, the particle effects look great, the fucking water effects look great, especially the air effect looks great when you're traversing the air and all that. The game looks great, and I'm excited to see what this game is going to do in regards to pushing the PS5 to its limit. I don't know about to its limit actually, but really showcasing what this console can do and why you spent $500 or $400 on this console. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this game.
Yeah. I think this will be one of those, not first games, but I think this will be one of the first bigger games that are really kind of showing what the PlayStation 5 can do. I mean, Ratchet and Clank was fantastic. I enjoyed that experience, but this looks like it has the potential to really do way more, like you were saying, and kind of show off. Now, the PlayStation 5 can handle much more destruction and all of these crazy graphics and ray tracing and everything else going on too, all at once. And I think it'll be a great showcase for the console.
So, I mean, back in the day was just with Xbox One and PS4. But when those games came out, or when those consoles came out, rather, it would ship with a new game, like flagship games. With the Xbox One, you had Rise, Son of Rome.
Yeah.
Good game.
And on the PS4, you had Uncharted, I want to say. You had one of the Uncharteds ready to go with
Maybe.
that console.
Maybe.
What I'm saying is, with the Xbox Series X and the PS5, you didn't really have many games that were showing off the potential of this generation. With Rise, Son of Rome, I don't care what people say. Like, I liked the game, and I thought it was a very fucking beautiful game.
Yeah.
Like, for
I do
that
remember
console,
that.
and for when it dropped, that was a great game. It was a great title to release with that console. We didn't really get that with the PS5 or the Xbox. We did get Demon Souls. And then a couple months later we got Ratchet and Clank.
You had Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Spider-Man, yeah, but like
still like it was a $40 game. It wasn't a full pop deal.
I feel like we haven't seen what either of these consoles can do yet, and therefore, in my opinion, like back in the day when you got a console, a game would come out usually with it. What game came out with PS4?
Knack, Killzone Shadowfall.
Okay.
And a couple of other games that I don't really think
Killzone Shadowfall would be a good.
Because I remember they wanted to show that because you would use the pad for like certain in-game things, and then Knack, I don't care what anybody, who gives a shit.
Knack's back, baby. But like what I'm saying is, they haven't shown off why we've spent the $400, $500, $500, right? Like the PS5, obviously, with its controller alone, is just insane.
Oh yeah.
The Xbox Series X, I got nothing on it, dude. Like my PlayStation is taking dominance over that thing. So like, Sony is really, and I've told Evan earlier today. I know we're supposed to get to the next game, but like to put this point out there, I think Sony is really rebuttaling with the whole Microsoft and Bethesda exclusivity by going, cool, we might not have a Starfield, we might not have Elder Scrolls or Fallout. Here's all this shit though that you cannot play on the Xbox.
Right.
So
I think and like you were saying, these consoles didn't launch with a pack-in, not necessarily even a pack-in game, but like a big blockbuster game right off the bat. And I think a lot of that was, just given all the crazy
COVID
shit going on, right? Yeah. Like, if you look at the packaging on the Xbox Series X, that motherfucker was definitely supposed to launch with Halo. Like,
Master
Halo
Chief
was supposed
is on the chip.
He is everywhere.
It's on the fucking CPU.
Yeah, which that's common for them. They've done that on a couple different Xboxes, but still. Right.
But still, he is
to not
I
have
can literally grab my box. It's over there. Master Chief is fucking in the corner. He's in the fucking front of it.
Right.
Like,
it's crazy. So next they showed off Rainbow Six Extraction, which we've seen this a handful of times now. This was pretty much a gameplay trailer, more or less, and they showed off some of the different enemies that you're going to encounter, as well as playing as a few different operators as well. And this will be releasing January 2022. How you guys feel about it?
It's cool. Yeah. It's fine. Seen it. It's nothing new to me. Like, I think it's cool, but it's not like one of those things where it's like, when this game comes out, I need it. Yeah. It's just like, when I get it, I fucking get it, and I'm gonna wait till it's discounted, honestly.
I will probably pick it up later. I won't be like day one or anything, but I do like the idea of playing this style of game, but with siege controls, because their gunplay is fantastic. Their gunplay is very, very good. So I would agree. I would imagine that this is going to be a lot of fun to play. the replayability aspect of it is going to be a problem for me, as well as microtransactions. I could see microtransactions being a real iffy thing in this as well. So
Yeah.
I think some of it will be yet, it's something we have to kind of get a better feel for once it actually comes out. But I think it looks cool for what it is. And there's so many games similar to it that, whatever. Alan Wake Remastered. So this was announced actually earlier this week, but this is our first look at what it is going to look like, and this will be releasing October 5th. I will go ahead and start off by saying I have no connection to Alan Wake whatsoever. I have never played the original game. I'm pretty sure I own it. Never played it. But I will say it did look very, very good. Especially for a game that came out around the time that, the original did. This remaster looks pretty damn good. It still has some clunkiness of the original game, but not bad.
So this looks... Oh, sorry, Evan.
No, I was just gonna say I played the original one. Very good, very fun game. Loved the style of combat, I guess you could say. I was a kid when I played it, so I was also not entirely aware of the story. I was just kind of like, oh look, I got a flashlight. It's cool. But like, I'm excited to try it again. I think I'll get back into it just to see. But it might be one of those games too where it's like I play it, I'm not into it for 5 minutes, and boom, I'm done. I quit. I'm going back to playing, Middle Earth Shadow of War or something like that. Like I'm just gonna go do something else because I don't know. I think it could be cool for a new generation of gamers that have never touched it. Sure, yeah, you might really enjoy it. But I've already played it, and it's probably gonna be one of those things where it's like as soon as I start playing it and I go, oh, I remember this story, I'm gonna turn it off.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whatever.
So this is for me kind of like what Evan just said, like along lines of like Quake being quote unquote remastered, because well, it was, I guess, polished up. It looks like Quake 1.
Yeah, it does still look very much like Quake 1.
But it's smooth now. Like it's totally playable in a fast-paced world where if you're not playing a game at least 60 frames per second, what are you playing anymore? With this, I really think Alan Wake's story itself it's one of those games where the story itself is what brought me into the game. Mm-hmm. And Remedy does a great job with something like this. The first Max Payne, I believe Max Payne 1 and 2 were Remedy and Rockstar, correct? And then Rockstar took over after that. I'm unsure.
Yeah, but that sounds right.
I like Remedy. I love Alan Wake. I'm really excited for this. But again, like what Evan said, it's one of those things where it's like I've played it. I know the story. Mm-hmm. It looks pretty now, prettier, because Alan Wake, the original Alan Wake, still looks good. If you look at it, it's like, wow, this looks fine.
Yeah.
So, but for a new generation of gamers who want, because like let's be honest, dude, like graphics to kids nowadays, to a lot of gamers in general, it's the difference. Like you can have an awesome game and your graphics are shit, and people are gonna be like, I don't want to play this because I don't like the graphics. And I understand that.
I'm the same way, honestly. I have a hard time going back to older games. So that's exactly why I never played Alan Wake, because I at the time it wasn't something that interested me, and then now it's hard for me to go back. So I actually might pick up this remastered because everybody loves the story, and I love a good story game, but I also
would highly recommend it.
It's just hard for me to go back to that because it was a 360 game.
Yes.
So, yeah.
You know what they should give us?
What?
Max Payne remastered.
Max Payne 3?
Max Payne 1.
Max Payne 3 looks pretty good still, actually.
It's not too bad.
So does Kane and Lynch. I like the Kane and Lynch games. So.
Wow.
Of course.
I was gonna say that's not a super common take, really. They seemed like they were kind of critically panned, weren't they?
Oh yeah. So was Army of Two, though.
Yeah.
Army of 2 is a great game.
Army of 2 is a lot of fun if you can turn your brain off and just fucking kill shit.
Oh yeah.
And just listen to those two fucking banter. It's
just two fucking meatheads.
And then we got the terrible thing that was Army of 2: The Cartel.
The Army of 2: The Cartel was so bad. All right, yeah, Alan Wake's gonna be sweet, but I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be something I pick up. If it's free on PSN, I'll play it.
Fair enough.
Yep.
GTA 5, because
Move. Move on.
it's gotta come out again.
Get it. It's the new Skyrim.
Showing off new features and graphics, and they said something about how you can seamlessly switch between characters, which was kind of already in the game. I mean, it wasn't completely seamless, but
They need to show us the technical stuff that they changed, because
from what they showed, it didn't look that much different.
Modders have already done their job for them.
Yeah.
Stop.
you could.
There was
Okay,
somebody that fixed the boot, like when you
They
boot
paid
into the
to train
games.
that guy.
Yeah, like why? I don't know. Like every once in a while I'll hop into GTA Online and just fuck around for a bit, but
This is so many different mods you can find. that
Yeah.
are, like I've had them, and it's like there are mods where all the cars are changed to their real world models with their real badges and all this other kind of stuff. There are people who just get like they have a 3090 and they play the game in 8K driving around in a Lambo,
Jeez.
and the game looks great. However, one thing I have found with a lot of those videos, there's too much water on the ground because they want to show off all the reflections.
There's water everywhere in that goddamn city.
There shouldn't be.
I know.
It's like, dude, why, dude? It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Los Angeles. Why is anything wet on the ground?
Right.
You know what
Like-
they should show off?
What?
The bum shit and piss. Because that's all. No, I'm serious. That's all Los Angeles has for it. It's just shit and piss everywhere, dude.
You're not wrong. So anyway, Skyrim
Everything's sad.
GTA 5 will release in March of 2022. It was originally supposed to come out in November, and it has now been pushed back. So
Hard at work. They're hard
Yeah.
at work.
That's how I feel about GTA 5 again.
again, it was great the first time. Second time was still pretty cool. Third time, not so much.
When are you
because-
just gonna let me come and get GTA 6? Show me GTA 6.
Because Rockstar is making plenty of money with GTA Online still.
This is true.
Fuck yeah, they are. Fuck yeah, they are.
That's the most profitable game product ever. It's like made $6
It's
billion
insane.
dollars.
Ghostwire Tokyo. So this was kind of a brief look into some of the characters and setting up a little bit of the story, which I feel like it really needed because up until now, there hasn't been a whole lot on this game. It was just kind of like, hey, we know it exists and it's gonna happen at some point. It looks cool. The first time they showed it off, they kind of made it seem like it was going to be a little bit of a spoopy game, but it doesn't seem like it looks like there will be some elements of that, but it almost reminds me of kind of a similar vibe to, I don't know, the Masked Men and stuff. They kind of remind me of the Immortal or the people you fight in Spider-Man.
The demons?
Yeah, the demons. There you go. That would make a whole lot of sense considering they're wearing demon masks. But the overall vibe of it kind of almost gives me like Control feel, like
Yeah.
where it's this kind of like supernatural, kind of creepy, but not too scary type of thing. Like I could actually maybe get into this game.
It's got the edginess of Death Stranding.
Oh God.
It does. Look at this
This guy.
fucking trailer.
This guy.
It does. It totally does. It looks cool.
You with
Look
your
at
Death
it.
Stranding and Evan with his The Last of Us.
Look
Fuck.
at the trailer
talk about
again
that
and
game?
say,
No, I don't want to talk about that game.
look at the trailer for this and tell me it does not have the edginess and trailer effect.
I can,
It's not a-
yeah,
Or
that's
doesn't.
fair.
It's the fuck it does.
It was a very cinematic, like artsy kind of take on a trailer, but I still think at its core it was more of a video game trailer than what we saw from Death Stranding.
Leave Kojima alone, man.
Those were some weird trailers, man. Those were so weird.
You didn't like the baby doing this thing?
Uh-huh. It was so strange. I don't know. I think this kind of looks cool. I want to see a little bit more. I want to see gameplay. That's what I want. I just want fucking gameplay. Cinematics are cool, but I don't care until I see what the gameplay is actually going to look like.
I just realized something.
Uh-huh.
there was that whole thing about there were people who were like Rick and Morty fans who were like, you're just not smart enough to
Oh,
understand the
shut
humor.
up! I know where you're going with this.
Nick is that way with Hideo Kojima, whereas collectively 7 billion people will go, this is a weird trailer, none of it makes sense. And Nick will go, you guys just don't understand, okay? You haven't played all of the games blindfolded with your hands tied behind your back like I have. So I know more about what Hideo wants. That's who you are. That's exactly what that was.
I hope Neil Druckmann breaks into your house, pins you down,
Oh
and
boy.
spits on your butthole and leaves you alone.
It's fine. Am I still getting the TV show? Yeah, we're good.
Oh
You mind if
god.
I put a little bit of news into this really quick, Brody?
Yeah. Yeah, go for it.
Did you guys see though that there's more set photos of Last of Us TV show?
Yeah. Yeah,
Looks
I
really
did
Show
good.
what
see
you
this.
showed me.
Looks fucking sweet.
Yeah, looks good.
Looks just like the video game. So good job not fucking it up, HBO. Continuing
far.
on. Sorry. Yeah, so far.
Guardians of the Galaxy. So they kind of gave us, this was more of the story trailer, give you kind of the overlook on what you're going to get, showed you the big bad. And this is still coming out October 26th, which
That is shocking.
it really is kind of shocking because they just announced it during E3 and it's coming out October 26th and there has not been a delay yet. So,
And at E3, we were noticing all those technical issues. Remember,
Right.
we were like, "Wow, there's like a lot of like latency issue with the combat system." Um, there was a lot of ghosting too with character animations.
mhm.
And I mean, if that was like a early video they showed off, fine. But I mean, the game still looks beautiful, right?
It really
And
does.
this is a game I will be purchasing on my PS5 and my PC.
You're getting both.
Oh yeah, I want.
Big money.
Like
balls.
right off the bat, don't you want to get
No,
one
no,
and
no, no,
see
no, no, no.
see how it is first?
I'm gonna get it for my console first.
There you go.
My console first.
You might
And
want to
then if
try
I
it.
like
Maybe play a good portion of it before you
If I
pick
like
it up again.
it, if I like it on the PS5, I'm gonna get it for my PC. Just to see because I like to compare and contrast my consoles to my computer.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, it looks beautiful though, and this game looks like it's gonna be really fun. And I like that it's a bit more mature. I like
Yeah.
that a lot about this game. So
I'm actually really excited for this. I'm still so hesitant just because it still is in Square's hands, and but it's a very different game than what Marvel's Avengers was. So I have confidence that it will be good, and that it's not going to be as clunky and as fucked up as Marvel's Avengers was, and ridden with microtransactions. Obviously,
they're gonna riddle it with microtransactions. You're gonna be able to fucking buy different.
I think there
suits
will
and
be
shit.
costume packs, but I mean, Square is
That's
also, I mean, they're a Japanese publisher, so it makes sense because that is, I mean, most like JRPGs are. There's always a bunch of DLC pack stuff that you can buy and cosmetics, which I don't care about. It's fine, whatever.
No.
But I mean, God, Marvel's Avengers was bad and it was egregious. It was.
That's not even a game.
It's not even a game. It's a costume collecting mini game.
It's a mini game. It's a mini game. The
But
AAA game is a mini game.
I'm actually pretty excited for this. What do
Yeah,
you think,
absolutely
Evan?
am.
Anything to add?
Not particularly. I'm not a big fan of like other than the Spider-Man games. I'm really not into the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy. I'll probably try it, but I'm not really like. It's one of those games that's on the back burner for me. Like not super excited for it. I got other stuff to look forward to, like Battlefield.
What
Oh, yeah.
about Vampire's Blood Hunt? Are you pretty excited for that?
Isn't that the battle royale?
It looks like it. I don't
Yeah.
really know.
Wait, where is this? Oh, I
Passing on that one
it's
too,
it's a
kiddo.
vampire blood hunt.
Masquerades.
It is. Is
It's a
it?
spin-off
That's
of
not
that.
Masquerades, is it? Oh, it's the spinoff. Okay.
It's
It-
like a spin-off. That's a battle royale.
Yeah, it's a battle royale, like multiplayer. Looks, I don't know. I personally didn't think it looked all that good from what they showed off. And this was a
Like
gameplay
shit.
trailer. Yeah, it doesn't look good.
It looked like
Way to sugarcoat it. And this is releasing sometime next year. We don't know when, just sometime next year. I'm not gonna play this.
So for a multiplayer game, guys, unless you're Borderlands, you don't want to have the fucking hit counters in the game when you're shooting somebody.
No, that's distracting as hell, and something that, like Borderlands, it's part of its aesthetic and it works, but
this looks like shit.
Yeah, it looks bad.
It looks stupid. It looks like it's going to be fucking broken on release. Clunky as well. The parkour looks like shit. It looks bad. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sure these developers worked hard on this.
Yeah, I don't think you do, because Mr. Bloodhunt right now is crying as he's listening to this podcast.
Well, make a better game, dude. Like,
okay, all right. Get a quote of that. Nick telling developers to make a better game like he knows something.
Listen, I know jack shit, but okay.
Should have given our
fire in this game.
Yeah, we should have given our disclaimer.
Our disclaimer.
Now I'm just nitpicking, but like I'm looking at the flames right now. Dude, did you grab the flames from Aqua Teen Hunger Force and just throw them into the game? Like, I'm sorry.
It's not great.
It's bad. And as far as I'll kill this game.
I don't see a whole lot of fanfare for this one so far. Next up, Deathloop, because God knows we haven't seen enough Deathloop trailers at this point.
Never releasing.
Supposedly it's launching September 14th. So this is the final trailer. I'll believe it when I see it, because I guarantee the day before launch they're going to put out their launch trailer as well. This trailer, I will say, this was a better trailer than what we've seen for it so far. They actually showed off some kind of cool things that you could do around the world to, assassinate your targets. Some other just kind of cool things that you could do. I don't think I'm interested in this game, though. There's just something in the back of my head that makes me very concerned as to whether this is going to be a good game or not, or if it's going to have enough substance to actually make me feel like it was a good purchase.
This is just Dishonored.
Yeah. Well, it's the same company. It is Arcane.
They didn't have to make the same fucking game with a different look.
Well, I mean,
the look isn't even that fucking different. It looks like Dishonored. It looks like it's going to play like Dishonored.
Yeah.
Some of the kill animations are from Dishonored.
Yeah.
They've been doing this since Dark Messiah, Might and Magic. There are animations from Dark Messiah, Might and Magic that are staples in Dishonored 1 and 2. It's not they don't do a lot of crazy shit, which is fine with me. I'm probably going to play it because I want to play something that's like Dishonored that is new, because I'm getting tired of playing Dishonored 1 and 2 over and over and over again.
I still need to
cool.
see more about how this time loop thing works, and like,
I'll stream it for you, Brody.
There you go. I'll watch you play it, and I might pick it up eventually. Probably on a sale, though, I think is when I'm going to pick this up, because there's one loop, and you play through this loop, and you have to figure out the puzzle. But once you figure out the puzzle, it's broken. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know.
The marketing campaign for this, I will say, I have enjoyed.
Yeah,
I like their marketing for this game.
It's almost really been brutal, though. It's so much marketing. That's my downfall. But the marketing has been top tier. I mean, it has been fantastic marketing for sure.
Oh yeah. So we'll see. This would be a game I'm gonna watch Evan play.
Yeah.
And if I dig it,
right,
then I'll get my PS5.
I would like a $15 down payment from each of you on this, just so I can recoup my money somehow.
You bitch! I ain't got no money. I'm waiting to get paid for my new job.
He's waiting to buy Guardians of the Galaxy twice.
Twice. I was about to say I got no money, but I'm gonna buy these games twice.
I just bought my PS5, and I'm still not recovering from that.
Yeah,
what is that? What is that phrase? I will never financially recover from this.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We also got to look at Kid Amnesia Exhibition. So this is a game. Game feels almost like a strong word from what we saw. I don't even know if it's a game. But this is a collaboration between Radiohead and Epic Games. I have no clue what this game is. But it's coming in November. So there's that.
Radiohead's pretentious, and I'm assuming this is gonna be pretentious.
Abso-fucking-lutely it is.
It looks pretentious.
It screamed pretentious through the entire fucking thing, and very
at
few
us.
things have turned me away from something that quickly.
Look at us,
Right.
we're Radiohead. We're so cool.
I'm not a Radiohead fan
No
at
one is a
all.
Radiohead fan.
I actually saw somebody in a comment section talking about this that was like, I'm a huge Radiohead fan and they're my favorite band, and you're a fucking
You're
liar. You're a
you're
liar.
psychotic.
Yeah, and you probably
Crazy.
make out with your Radiohead poster in your fucking butthole.
Next up, we got a look at Chia, which this was a very cartoony game. I believe this is from a Indian studio, but I don't know a whole lot about the studio as a whole. So this was a gameplay trailer showing off this very, very unique art style they have. It kind of looks like it might take a little bit from like a Wind Waker, but also even more cartoony in a way. And they also showed off the world that you would be exploring, as well as some of the gameplay mechanics, which were you basically used animals to like transport yourself, and you kind of controlled them for a short period of time, and then you could jump out of them. It had some interesting mechanic things going on, but the art style for me personally is not something I really feel like playing. I respect the art style for what it is, but it's just not something that speaks to me in any way, shape, or form. And so far, we do not have a release date on this.
I'm literally in the same boat you are with this game. It's one of those things where it's like, I'll probably watch somebody play it, but this is not one of those games that will ever grab my attention.
Right.
And I just don't need it, nor will I really care about it, I guess.
Yeah. Fair
I'm
enough.
cool. Don't care.
You're cool.
Yeah, do not
Evan
care
goes,
for it.
We're all
I'm
watching
smooth
somebody stream this one.
Yeah. No, I'm not even watching somebody stream it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
wasn't
doing
either.
nothing. I'm doing anything else.
It looks like a beautiful game, and it looks like there's a lot of cool stuff going on there, but it's just not something that speaks to me personally.
Yeah.
Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy are both getting remastered for the PS5 as well as the PC, and both of these will be releasing early 2022. Cool.
This is promising because this tells me that Sony has seen success on PC.
Yeah.
With Days Gone, Horizon Zero Dawn, and listen, man, if you throw God of War or any Last of Us Part 2, I'm gonna.
You're
fuck you
missing the game you've been talking about. Death
What,
Stranding.
That's Stranding.
Kojima always wanted to put that on PC.
But I mean,
Oh
it's
my god.
it's-
Whatever. This guy.
he said that's where it was meant to be played.
Whatever.
Anyways.
You completely forgot it. We'll move on.
Any-
You're not a true fan. We get it.
No, I think this is really good. I think this is a good move for Sony. It's a bit odd that they're not doing the originals.
well, the original trilogy has already been remastered once.
Yeah.
But to put it and port it on the PC,
Yeah.
I
but then
wouldn't
that would
really
be a
care
whole
about.
thing.
I wouldn't really care about 1 or 2. I guess. I mean.
Yeah, I really have wanted to get into Uncharted, and I wanted to start from the beginning, and 1 is it doesn't look bad, but if the gameplay feels dated, and I had a really, really hard time getting into it.
It's super dated.
So
Super dated.
I'm thinking about just jumping straight to Uncharted 4 and watching the fucking Cliff Notes version of everything else and just giving it a go, because I do want to play it, but
You could. I mean, no, I'm sorry, guys. You could do that, but like again, I think this is a really good move. I think to showcase like, hey, these are the games like we want to start pushing on, and like, what's to say they won't do that with Infamous?
right.
Like, throw that on PC, remaster the Infamous games, and it's like, holy shit! Like,
I think I saw a rumor about a Infamous remaster. I can't remember if it was a rumor or wishful thinking from someone, but
I'm hoping so. But
that'd be cool.
This is a step in the right direction. I think more Sony games on PS5 or like old Sony games on PS5 and on PC is a great thing. It's I've always thought it was odd, but due to like you'd want to keep those exclusives on your console, but I understand porting them over to a PC because that gives that audience an entire new library to play with.
Yeah.
So a lot of cool stuff happening. I wouldn't be shocked to see eventually if Sony did their own launcher, kind of like how Xbox has it via Microsoft.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't either. A lot of them have been going to the Epic Game Store, haven't they? Or a
Or
few of
Steam.
them have, and some of them have been Steam. Yeah,
So
gotcha. Um, Probably one of my favorite announcements from this entire fucking thing.
can I guess?
You sure can.
Was it Wolverine?
Abso-fucking-lutely. So excited.
Yeah.
Not a single even hint of what the gameplay is going to be, but this is being developed by Insomniac, who has made the Spider-Man games. And I am so incredibly excited about this fucking game. I can't even express how fucking pumped I am for this.
Give us a rated M fucking Wolverine game.
Yes, do it.
Nothing less. Give us a rated M Wolverine game. This game will thrive off that. Because like look at the Deadpool game. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's the greatest game ever,
Yeah.
but if that would have been a fucking T game, that slashes that game in half.
Yeah.
Wolverine is going to thrive off its M rating. Especially if they go the same route they did with the Spider-Man game, but in an X-Men universe and a rated M X-Men universe where they can really dive deep into the shit that the X-Men dove deep into in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
And Wolverine, especially with his alcoholism, his fucking just like abuse issues. Like Wolvie's had some issues.
Oh yeah,
So, like,
absolutely.
I really want them to dive deep into this shit. And the cinematic trailer alone got me stoked. Evan told me when I was driving today, he's like, yeah, they showed off Wolverine. I said, they did what? He's like, yeah, dude.
I couldn't have
was like,
been more
sick.
excited to see Insomniac's logo come up on that as well.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
because they're gonna do it right. I mean, after seeing what they've done with Spider-Man, they're gonna 100% knock this out of the park.
If you're working on a Wolverine title, I'm going to assume you love Wolverine as well.
Yeah.
Like what? Like if you, it's Wolverine, man. Like
He's right here.
He's on my fucking arm. Like, he's one of the most beloved X-Men characters.
Yeah.
And he's one of the most grittiest X-Men characters, next to Cable and fucking Bishop and Deadpool.
Right.
Dude, I don't think they're gonna fuck this up. I think this is gonna be a fucking knock out of the park for this.
This is day one for me, 100%. Like, at this point, they can do no wrong. You've announced that Insomniac's making Wolverine. I will buy this day one. And I know that's... I hope there is. I don't know. I would probably buy that.
They have to. They have to.
I am such a big proponent of like not pre-ordering shit too, but this one's fucking got me. They got me right by the fucking balls on this one. And
you give me physical goodies, I'm there.
Yeah. The even just in this like little tiny trailer, they captured that perfect like Wolverine. How many times has he, fought in a bar somewhere and everybody's on the floor fucking bleeding and just like one dude pops up and all of a sudden you see his claws pop out. Like this was just perfect. Perfect.
He's just unfazed.
Oh,
Logan.
yeah.
And it's like, could you imagine if they got Hugh Jackman to voice him though?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
What, you know who it's going to be? It's going to be Troy Baker.
It's probably going to be Troy Baker.
Which, you know what, though?
Or Nolan North, yeah.
Uncle
Either of them,
Noli.
I'm here for it.
I think Nolan would do a better job than Troy on that one. Troy's voice is a little bit too high, I think, for Wolvie.
His voice can actually go pretty deep, but I don't think he would do the gritty very well.
Either of them would really kill it. So for this game, I know there's a couple more things to get to.
Yeah.
For this game though, crossover wise, I would like to see some Juggernaut, some Sabretooth, some Deadpool, some Magneto, like X-Men in there. Like I really want to see how deep they're gonna go.
I would be okay with just Wolverine in this case, personally. I think an X-Men game would be fantastic, but I don't know if this is necessarily
I'm saying like just bump into these characters.
Yeah, that would just like a cameo type
like
shit.
Sabretooth, the Blob, Juggernaut, like those guys are like, fighting with them because like that's like Sabretooth and Wolverine, like those two are fucking neck to neck.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one. Not so much Magneto, considering Magneto pretty much can fuck Wolverine up pretty easily, depending.
Yeah, Magneto could really drive a story though because of how
That's true.
interesting Eric is. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm so stoked for this. I can't wait. No
Insane.
no
I'm
release
stoked.
date, but I'm ready. My body is
I'll say 3 years. 3 years, I think we'll get this game.
yeah, probably like 2024, you think?
Yeah,
Late
something like that.
2024?
Which sucks, but
Yeah. Especially cuz it's not like Spider-Man where they can reuse a lot of assets and things like that, but yeah. So stoked. Next up, we got to look at Gran Turismo 7. So this was a lot of a cinematic trailer at the beginning, kind of showing off some cars and some things like that. And then they even went in and gave us a look at what the customization is going to look like. Of course, they had to show off photo mode because everybody fucking loves photo mode, I guess. I'm not a photo
Why?
mode guy, but whatever. And they kind of showed what looked like it may be some gameplay, but from like a weird angle type of thing. I'm not entirely. It was at least in game or in game engine footage. This is releasing next year. I'm not huge on Gran Turismo. I actually really like my Forza Horizon games. Like if I'm gonna play a racing game, that's where I personally like to be. But
yeah,
cool, it's coming. More racing.
It's more racing. That's all I gotta say about that.
One of my other top reveals of this showcase, Spider-Man 2, big Marvel guy, in case you could not tell. So this is the official reveal trailer, and it's actually going to have both Spider-Mans in it from what it appears like. So we're going to get Miles and Peter, as well as Venom, which is obviously being slated as the big bad for this. We didn't get any gameplay, but we kind of know what the gameplay is going to look like, right? We've gotten 2 games from them in the Spider-Man universe. And Venom was heavily teased at the end of the last one, so I'm glad they're just going into it and not teasing it out for another game and some bullshit like that. Like leading strong with Venom, and from the model that they showed in this trailer, looks incredible. Captured it perfectly. This is going to be releasing in 2023. So we got a little bit of a wait, but fair enough. Insomniac, keep working your fucking magic over there.
I'm excited to see, because now with Marvel and Insomniac, could you cross over Wolverine to Spider-Man and vice versa? You know what I'm saying? Like that would be cool shit. But pertaining just to Spider-Man 2, Venom itself, I'm excited to see the duality between Venom and Eddie Brock in this game, to see how they're going to combat that, because obviously Venom will speak in third person, and it'll be like we and like shit like that, like Venom. Or I'm excited to see what they're going to do. I'm excited to see if they're going to fucking infect Spider-Man with the symbiote as well. Like give us a black suit Spider-Man where like he loses his shit. Are they gonna show off some carnage eventually? Like this is open so much to this franchise just by saying, hey, yeah, here's Venom. Like we knew it was coming, but to show him off, dude, there's a lot this game can do now. There's a lot this game can do. And I'm excited for this.
Is this has it been confirmed that this is going to be Eddie Brock Venom? I mean, I assume it would be, because he's pretty much the known Venom character, right?
Well, that looks like Eddie Brock's Venom too.
That's true. It does. I mean, it's obviously not Flash Thompson because he's Agent Venom, but
yeah, that's
typically
like Venom with the fucking pouch and everything.
Yeah, the only thing that I know that there's been an Osborn. I'm looking it up right now. That
was it Harry?
Well, and that was kind of what was shown off at the end of Spider-Man with Harry and Venom.
Norman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
but I think it's going to be Eddie.
I hope it's Eddie. I would personally rather see Eddie than, have Harry become Venom or whatever.
In my opinion, Eddie was the only Venom.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, there was other Venoms.
Right.
But, like, Eddie Brock being, like, that's just the only right way to do it, I think, for a game like this.
Well, they already set it up, though, with Norman when he says, I'll save you, my son, and instead of another hand grabbing, it's some sort of tentacle-like figure. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Well, so, I mean, if
unless
They could
he's
do
trying
whatever
to
They know
want,
what they're
right?
doing.
unless
They know
he's
what they're
trying to
doing.
get the symbiote out of Harry, like maybe
Harry.
and so maybe that's how it somehow gets to Eddie. I don't know. I would rather see Eddie, like you said. I think that is the tried and true, like that's fucking Venom, right? Like
I
there's
think the
Agent
symbiote
Venom, but there's also Venom,
So
and
like that's the thing after because I just played it. Yeah, because Harry is sick, but he's sick with the disease that his mom has or
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
So there's no confirmation as to what it was they were trying to do to save him, other than using the Devil's Breath in the first game, but that wasn't ready yet. So there's no. I didn't finish all of Miles Morales yet, so I gotta wait and see how that goes. But, I mean, I think I have no connection like you two to comics and shit like that, so I couldn't care less. Like as long as you make a good game, I'll play the game. I don't really care about it being. I'm not one of those people who's like, well, you weren't like the Star Wars nerds who are like, well, you weren't true to the previous 6 movies, so I can't watch these new 3 because they're not just like the same 6 I've seen every day of my entire life. It's like, well, yeah, because that's what happens with creative people is they like to take risks and do different things. Sorry that Daisy Ridley was the main character and she's a woman and you can't handle that. But like, same thing for this. I'll call him out. I don't give a shit. It's stupid.
damn.
It's stupid. But like for this, it's like if I remember Spider-Man 3, phenomenal movie. Don't at me on that.
Shut up.
We'll never get a dancing scene like it. Don't test me.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not. I want
What
more
were you
of that.
thinking, Sam Raimi? Come on.
Sam Raimi. But no, I mean, I think that just, I don't like, I guess that about certain projects and things is where you have something set up like at the beginning of or at the end of Spider-Man 1, and then we just never touch on it again.
Right.
Like that would upset me more.
Oh,
like if
absolutely.
it's Eddie Brock as Venom, that's totally fine. But if it's also like, well, Harry Osborn is actually Venom, and here's like, we'll explain all this. It's like that's fine too because you're bringing that forward, and we kind of know the more of the story about that. Because I would hate to where it's just like, here's Eddie Brock, he's Venom. Norman Osborn is off in Europe with his son Harry, even though they're obviously not in Europe, and we'll never hear from them again. It's like, well, now I'm kind of upset because I wanted to know more about that. That was interesting.
There's going to have to be a way where the symbiote attaches to Eddie. That's just what I think is going to happen.
Yeah,
Because the
it could
symbiote
definitely
will-
leave host, right?
Well, yeah, it rejects. So the symbiote might reject Harry,
Yeah.
and then it'll be like, oh, Eddie though, because it'll it'll sense the deep seated hatred that Eddie actually does have, and his cockiness, and it'll be like, oh, this is a better host for me. So I think that's what'll happen.
And that makes
that's how-
sense. Even
Yeah.
from the trailer there, or not the trailer, but the in credit scene there in Spider-Man, it's not attached to him. This
Yeah.
symbiote was separate, like you said. There was a hand, and then there was symbiote. So it's very possible that it isn't working, and that's how we're gonna get it. But like I said, yeah, being comic book nerd, like I kind of want Eddie Brock. I understand
love
it would be interesting for Harry, but at the same time, like he's got his own path that he could go at some point too. So
Well, there's that inner turmoil between Eddie and Peter, anyways.
right,
So we'll see.
But
We'll
yeah,
see.
we'll have to see because wasn't that the problem in like I know in the Sam Raimi movie wasn't it the issue because Eddie Brock was like trying to be the photographer or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like we don't know anything about that because it's very rarely talked about in either of the movie or either of the games, as far as I know, about Peter working at the Bugle with Jameson.
Which
It's
is very odd.
it's very little that's like that's not even discussed in the first game, where it's mentioned like once or twice of like, here's one of my old cameras that you find in the backpack, but like other than that, it's mostly here's what I did at college and here's what I'm doing with Doc Ock, like that kind of stuff. There's very little, if anything, to do with
Otto.
Triple J.
I totally forgot. Harry becomes anti-Venom at some point too in the
It does.
comics. So
It does.
that could
Oh,
make
they
for an
do.
interesting thing too. Bring in all the symbiotes. Let's fucking do it.
I would like to see Green
good
Goblin
about.
for this one too.
I would love to see the Green Goblin.
I liked
Yeah.
how Spider-Man 1 immediately had the Sinister Six. Like it was like, yeah, we got everybody, right? Which I thought made it sweet. So it'd be really nice to see we got
Give me
Venom,
Hob.
Green Goblin. Yeah.
Be the Hobgoblin. That's sweet too.
Dude, just give me Willem Dafoe.
He'll be in. Yeah. Okay.
You know
Yeah.
how much I sacrificed?
Great Green Goblin for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. And the final announcement of this PlayStation showcase was God of War Ragnarok. So excited for this one too. There's some good games on the horizon, boys. So this was a gameplay trailer, as well as a little bit of a cinematic deal. But they showed off Kratos, Mimir, Freya, and boy, but older this time. Atreus has grown up a little bit. They showed off the Chains of Chaos as well as the Leviathan Axe, which is cool because. Fuck, if you haven't played it at this point, sorry, but you get the Chains of Chaos back at the end of God of War 2018. So yeah, it's cool. You get to keep them, and you probably get to choose which one you use, just like you did at the end of God of War. Thor appears to be a recurring antagonist on this one as well, which is cool. He was in the first one super briefly, right? Because there were the two brothers, or no? At the end, yeah, there were two brothers of Thor. And then Thor showed up at the end type of deal.
It was like a post-credit type thing.
Yeah. There's so many post-credit things at the end of that one. It also looks like we got to kind of peek at what some of the new powers and enemies are in this game. And this is releasing next year.
Insane.
Crazy. So there are a couple things to tie in here before we talk about Ragnarok and fucking Gush and all that good shit. Cory Barlog is not actually the director of this game.
Which really shocking to me.
Yeah, very, very shocking. It is actually going to be Eric Williams. I don't know a whole lot about Eric Williams, to be perfectly honest, but if Cory Barlog was going to step away from it and leave it in this guy's hands, I believe that he should be capable. Also, Ryan Hurst will be playing Thor in Ragnarok. So, don't know much about Ryan Hurst either, but cool.
So
I don't see him. I'm looking him up.
Eric Williams was additional design for God of War 2018. He was the design consultant for Darksiders War Mastered Edition. Combat design for God of War Ascension. Design consultant for Darksiders. So, like, he's done a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a huge project for him.
It sounds like a lot of it has been design. But I will say from everything they showed off, it looks like they're keeping that single track camera or the one take camera type of deal again.
Yeah.
Combat looked very similar. A lot of things looked very similar to where it's not going to feel like it's too much of a stretch. I mean, the story is going to be kind of where you're going to see probably any change between Barlog and Williams, but I think, I mean, at least the game design looks like it is going to feel the same.
It looks like a God of War game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this game looks fluent with the combat. It looks beautiful. Obviously, with the on the PS5, it's gonna look fucking immaculate. The cool thing is you can play this on PS4. I've heard.
Which, fair enough. I mean, that I'm cool with that.
Well,
I do want that PS5 version at launch, but
I'm playing the PS5 version.
Yeah,
the way I'm sacrificing because I want to play God of War on PS5. This game looks like it's gonna be insane. It looks like there's gonna be a lot to it.
Oh shit! Have you not played God of War yet?
Oh, I did.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I fucking beat the shit out of that game.
Gotcha. Just want to make sure.
It was beautiful. Like when spoiler alert, when they're like, "Oh yeah, Atreus is Loki," I went, "Fucking what?
You fucking what?" I also called them Chains of Chaos, Blades of Chaos. My bad.
That's the Blades of Chaos. When you dig those up, I mean. There's a couple things I was like, oh, maybe that'll happen. And it did. Like the Blades of Chaos were under the floorboards. I was like, yeah, okay, go figure. Like you can't let his past go. It's Kratos.
Right.
I'm really excited to see. So are they gonna do a trilogy of this? Is this gonna be Ragnarok and then what, or is it gonna go Ragnarok into like Japanese mythology? Because like the ending of the trailer was like. The little girl was like, "There's more." She says,
"You'll find out soon."
You'll find out soon. But like that scenery was kind of bright and red, and not really Ragnarokish.
Yeah, it'll
So
be. I. That's the beauty of Kratos too, where you can kind of take him and shove him into a new mythology and kind of do your own thing all over again, right? And build a
it's
new
like
story.
it looks like there's almost like cherry blossoms. I'm looking at the end of that trailer. Not maybe not cherry blossoms, but it's really bright and
Hmm.
I don't.
There were
This,
some places in God of War 2018 that had some like real bright like flowers and things like that.
the more I'm looking at her though, like this is Norse still. Looking at the
Yeah.
braids in her
Yep.
hair being dreaded. This is Norse.
Yeah.
Um, but like I wonder if they're gonna drag us because the next logical place to take us would be Japanese mythology.
Hmm.
So, or Chinese, whatever. But w- what is after Ragnarok? Because like I think they're setting up for the series to keep going.
Right.
This game is going to be insane though. It truly does look beautiful. I'm excited to see where the story's going to go. Kratos looks like a miserable old bastard, and I fucking love it. And Atreus looks like he's aged a bit too.
Yeah, he doesn't look like way older, but it's definitely a few years. His voice has changed, which that was something I watched that like behind the scenes documentary thing for God of War, and they said they were running into issues where the voice actor for Atreus
It's puberty.
his voice his voice was changing in the middle of it. So they're like, "Oh shit, we got to hurry up."
Yeah, this is gonna be sweet, dude. I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do. Fuck Freya, she's pissing me off still.
Yeah. God. Yeah.
So annoying. But yeah, no, this looks really sweet. I like the shield effect where it like bends with how if a blade hits it, and yeah, this game is gonna be something special, I think, and it's gonna become another one of the greatest hits for Sony. It looks just immaculate.
Yeah.
And
I'm so
excited to
stoked.
see what they're gonna do.
So overall, how do you guys kind of feel about this presentation? I know Evan's not huge on PlayStation, but
I like the Spider-Man stuff,
I like the Spider-Man stuff. Fair
and
enough.
I like Wolverine. I think that'll be cool.
For
yeah.
What's up?
Go ahead. How would you kind of not necessarily rate it, but how do you feel about this presentation as a whole?
I think it was strong. I think this is a good rebuttal to again what Microsoft is doing, saying we have we have Elder Scrolls, we have Fallout, we have Starfield. That's really all Microsoft is saying they have,
Right.
other than Halo. This is a good thing for Sony to show off, and it wasn't something like here's a bunch of fucking like third-party indie games that are cartoony and 2D platforming and this and that. This was good. This is something that Sony needed to do. I'm happy Sony did it, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do next for the next state of play.
Some of these games, there's a couple of them that, I mean, Rainbow Six Extraction is not Sony exclusive as far as I know, and I don't know
Right.
about the Knights of the Old Republic remake. Alan Wake, I'm not sure either.
I wouldn't think that would be either. I think that would be on
Guardians,
everything.
we know isn't. GTA 5 isn't. So I mean, but yeah, the vast majority of this list was definitely PlayStation 5 exclusive stuff, either directly from Sony or with one of their very close partners. Overall, I think this was incredibly strong. I mean,
Yes.
Spider-Man, Wolverine, and God of War absolutely carried this, but I enjoyed all of the other shit in between because all of that was packed at the end for the most part.
Oh yeah.
And even just watching, like the Forspoken, that was cool, and seeing Project Eve, like I didn't know much about that game, so it was kind of cool to see, even though it was horny.
Here today, gone tomorrow.
Right. But I think overall this was a very, very strong showing from PlayStation, and I think that's exactly what they needed, because a lot of people have been kind of lackluster on their state of plays, which state of plays were never meant to be a showcase like this. That was never the what they wanted it to be. So I think, yeah, this was very much, after E3, they took some time, a couple months, and then they're like, okay, now we got our list together. Look at this motherfucker. Like, this is what we got. And
Exactly.
I think it was very, very strong. And I mean, with God of War coming next year, Spider-Man coming the year after, Wolverine coming probably the year after that, very, very strong list of games coming for sure.
Right. Yeah. This is gonna be sweet. I think Sony's really setting themselves up for success, and I'm really excited. So
yeah. So very, very quickly, I'm going to run through the upcoming game releases because that's something we've always done on this show. So September 10th, A Day Without Me is coming to PS4 and Xbox One. Kraken Academy is coming to PC. Life is Strange, True Colors is coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia. Lost in Random is coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. NBA 2K22 is coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Tales of Arise is coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One. WarioWare Get It Together is coming to Switch. September 13th, Fortnite Season 8 starts on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. September 14th, Deathloop is coming to PC and PS5. If you don't want to play it, you can watch Evan play it. It costs $15 though. Honey, I Joined a Cult is coming to PC. September 15th, Age of Darkness Final Stand is coming to PC. Fire Commander is coming to PC. Merrick's Market is coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Stadia. Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town is coming to PC. Timberborn is coming to PC. Titan Chaser is coming to PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One. And September 16th, The Amazing American Circus is coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Class of Chefs VR is coming to PC VR. Eastward is coming to PC and Switch. Skatebird is coming to PC, Xbox One, and Switch. And Valheim Hearth and Home update is coming to PC.
do it 10 times faster now.
What happened?
What happened?
What happened?
Fuck.
I tried to rattle through those really quick. But anyway, thank you guys so much for coming on tonight. I know it was super last minute, but it was honestly I had a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun going through all of this stuff and just kind of I talk to Jeff a lot. It's good to talk to other people.
Oh, Jeff, we
get some other opinions on some of this stuff because Jeff and I's taste in video games are also very different. So it's pretty fun. But he also doesn't like Wolverine, so fuck that guy.
He's Canadian, Jeff. What the fuck's your deal?
Right? Exactly. But anyway, plug your shit. What you got?
Yeah, you guys can check out WASD and Beyond. Oh my God, it's a millipede. Killed it. You guys can check out WASD and Beyond. That thing freaked me the fuck out. Every Wednesday and Friday. Wednesdays we drop a hot fix, which is a 30-minute episode that is just anything relevant in gaming.
Unless I'm on it, then it's an hour.
Yeah, unless Brody's on, then him and I go for about an hour or so. Every Friday we release a full episode, which could be an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, which is also dropped at 7 a.m. You can find WASD and Beyond on Twitter and Instagram at Beyond WASD. You can also find the Objectively Bad Opinions podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at OBO Podcast or Objectively Bad Pod. Just search Objectively Bad Podcast. You'll find us. We're the one with the thumbs up. This is a passion project from all of us at WASD and the Diggity Boys, and it's been a blast so far. We are not canceled yet.
Not
you
yet.
can find me at flies.avi on Instagram or at flies.wasd on Twitter. Evan?
You can find me on Instagram at evan.hsl. And if you want to watch me play Deathloop for $15 on Tuesday next week, you can find me at twitch.tv/ev0n1. There will be no $15 charge. However, I encourage you to subathon or September or whatever it is.
Nice.
So,
I like it.
Yeah, I'll be doing a playthrough of Deathloop if I can, depending on work and all that kind of stuff, which I think I should be able to do. But yeah.
Hell yeah. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Or listening, I guess. If you're watching, you can also catch our audio on Fridays early in the morning. or you can watch us live on Thursdays, usually about 9 o'clock, depending on how everything goes. I mean, life is crazy and things happen, and also technology is out to fucking kill us all. So there's that. But you can find me on PlayStation at Luscious Brody. You can also find me on Xbox at Luscious Brody. You can find Diggity Podcast everywhere: Twitter, Instagram at Diggity Pod, or Diggity Podcast. Sorry. And with that, we'll see you next time.